Recently, the Dallas Cowboys agreed to terms with offensive tackle Jason Peters, which should give the team's offensive line some much-needed stability. The Cowboys suffered a setback with the left tackle Tyron Smith being put on the injured reserve list after he sustained a knee injury. So stay tuned and don't go away, because Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott get good news with the latest addition to the Cowboys offense. First up, what are the agreed-upon terms that the Cowboys and Jason Peters have agreed to? You're about to find out. According to Dallas Cowboy insiders, the franchise has agreed to terms with future Hall of Fame offensive tackle Jason Peters, which will give the 40-year-old veteran a chance to help Dallas fill a critical position for one more year. Peters is a former Philadelphia Eagles legend who resides in Texas and says it's an honor to play for his hometown team. With Peters stepping up, Dallas will have the flexibility to prep Dak Prescott's protection crew as the team enters the 2022 NFL season. However, to be clear, Peters will not be joining the Cowboys' active roster immediately. He'll start with the team's practice squad, and when he's ready, he'll make his way onto the starting lineup. And it's ironic, really, that Peters ends up playing for the Dallas Cowboys because he spent the better part of his NFL career playing for the Cowboys' arch nemesis in the NFC East, the Eagles. Peters was a dominant force on the Eagles lineup for 11 straight years, and before agreeing to play for Dallas, Peters spent 1 year playing 15 games for the Chicago Bears back in 2021. Most importantly, don't let Peters' age fool you, because he still has a massive amount of strength and stamina left. There's another benefit to Peters' arrival as well. The Cowboys will be able to move rookie Tyron Smith to inside of the offensive line. Next up, will Mike McCarthy get fired in 2022? Let's take a look. Rumors are circulating that Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy might get fired in 2022. The 2022 Dallas Cowboys appear to be in great shape, with Dak Prescott coming back fresh and solid defense on top of that. In fact, at the time of this recording, the biggest question mark for the Dallas Cowboys is who will be at the helm calling plays. McCarthy's job security has been in question ever since he joined the franchise. Whether it's criticisms over his lack of modern coaching techniques or the bad blood between him, Aaron Rodgers, and the Packers, many are feeling that there's just something not quite right with McCarthy and that the Cowboys can do better. But as it turns out, Mike McCarthy might not be the only head coach in the NFL at risk of losing his job. Rumor has it Carolina Panthers head coach Matt Rhule could be let go as well. If the Panthers get crushed early on in the season, it's likely that Rhule will have to look for another job. The Panthers do have some things working in their favor though. Their new quarterback Baker Mayfield might prove highly effective, and the Panthers still have a strong defensive line. What do you think? Should McCarthy and Rhule start polishing their resumes, or can they turn things around for their respective teams? Drop a comment below and let us know your thoughts. Up next, have the Green Bay Packers failed Aaron Rodgers? Let's find out. In Week 1 last year, the Packers got rocked by the New Orleans Saints. The pain wasn't over yet, and the Packers went on to lose 2 more games. But after losing to the 49ers in the divisional final, the Packers shocked everyone by trading their star wide receiver, Davante Adams, and sending him to the Las Vegas Raiders. The Packers tried to replace Adams, but rather than secure a veteran or first-round pick, it was with Day 2 and Day 3 draft players. It's been 20 years since the Packers took a wide receiver in round 1. On Sunday, September 11th, while in Minneapolis, the Packers' old philosophy essentially came back to bite them in the you-know-what. Last year, the Vikings' pass defense was ranked 28th in the entire league, but on that Sunday, the Packers hit a brick wall against the Vikings defense and were unable to accomplish much of anything. The Pack looked really bad, but worst of all, they failed their MVP quarterback. Rodgers admitted a month ago that rookies such as Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs had a long way to go before they were able to make significant contributions to the team. Rodgers explained, "The young guys, especially young receivers, we've got to be way more consistent. A lot of drops, a lot of bad route decisions, and running the wrong route. We've got to get better in that area." Stay tuned and don't go away, because we're revealing the latest NFL news. Next up, are the Buffalo Bills proof that with winning comes attention and popularity? You're about to find out. In their opening game, the Buffalo Bills absolutely decimated the defending champions, the Los Angeles Rams, 31-10. And when it comes to Super Bowl favorites, the Buffalo Bills are the NFL's biggest hopefuls. Bills fans, aka the Bills Mafia, are the most dedicated, diehard fans in the NFL today, and have no issue cheering on their team in sub-zero temperatures and snowstorms. Some are now saying that the Bills' crushing defeat over the LA Rams has increased the Bills' odds of winning the Super Bowl by more than 50%. Before the game against the Rams, the Bills were joined by a number of teams most likely to win the Super Bowl: the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Green Bay Packers, Kansas City Chiefs, and the Rams rounded at the top with between a 7% and a 9% chance each. In other words, the Bills were the weakest favorite prior to their game against the Rams, but now they are the strongest favorite. Currently, the Bills have a 16% chance of winning the Super Bowl. Based on these odds, it would be far more surprising if the Bills won the Super Bowl than if they didn't. But regardless of where the Bills end up, there's one thing that's undisputable, and it's that the Bills Mafia has grown exponentially. Their fan wagon has expanded, and they've got more fans now than ever before coming along for the ride. Up next, did the Miami Dolphins just send a strong message to the New England Patriots? You bet. On Sunday, September 11th, the Dolphins crushed the Patriots 20-7. But most importantly, fans saw a number of star performances from both newcomers and returning players. Tyreek Hill, a 6-time Pro Bowl wide receiver, left his mark and led the team with 8 receptions for 94 yards. One thing everyone noticed about Hill is that he is lightning fast, but we have to talk about Kader Kohou for a second. Kohou, an undrafted rookie from Texas A&M Commerce, made his NFL debut on Sunday, and although he only played for 17 defensive snaps, he succeeded in making the most of his time on the field. Kohou locked in 3 tackles, made a critical pass breakup on a 4th down, and even forced a fumble that was recovered by the Dolphins on the Patriots' final possession. Dolphins fans were hoping to see a little more from Mike Gesicki, a 5th-year tight end whose role in McDaniel's offense was questioned over the summer, but he didn't log in much playing time. Gesicki only played for 25 of the 59 offensive snaps, while Durham Smythe played 37 snaps. Keep in mind that this was only week 1, and as we've seen before, some players need a bit more time to get back in the swing of things. Dolphins fans know that Gesicki is someone that the Dolphins can count on. Finally, has the Ravens' week 1 victory over the Jets provided relief and momentum? The Baltimore Ravens crushed the New York Jets 24-9 during their week 1 game, and the Ravens were playing with quarterback Lamar Jackson, who recently ended contract negotiations with the team. When the Ravens came away with a 24-9 victory before a crowd of 78,827, it was a momentous occasion and a superb way of kicking off the season. Head coach Jim Harbaugh said, "There was so much fun on the sideline. The people holding the American flag, mostly in their Jet stuff, but it was just neat. It was kind of coming together, kind of a unifying type of a feeling, but we knew the enthusiasm, the emotion was gonna be high." Last season, several of the Ravens star players suffered major injuries, and Harbaugh knew he'd be dealing with a few rusty players. So he never expected to crush the Jets as badly as he did, because the Jets are an extremely physical team, known for bringing their A-game. The Ravens' victory over the Jets, however, was certainly no walk in the park, and they struggled hard for the first half of the game, because by the end of the first half, the Ravens were only leading by 10-3, but it was in the second half that the Ravens started to find their rhythm. Considering the Ravens had so many rusty players, it makes the taste of victory that much sweeter. In week 2, the Ravens will face the Patriots. That's a wrap for today's video. Thank you for watching.